Hey there, friends. Welcome to your monthly forecast reading. We're going into the month of September. It's feeling like a very interesting threshold month, passing through some challenging times for some people, and really a lot of blooming and new possibility. So I'm excited for you to take a look. Looking forward to connecting with you soon. Take good care. So, wherever you happen to be right now, give yourself a moment to take a few deep breaths. Let your awareness drop down into your body. Maybe create a little bit of space for whatever it is you're noticing in your senses now. Sensing your emotions, your physical body, maybe your energy body. And then you might bring some attention into your heart space. Noticing the things that make you smile in your life right now. And allowing yourself to receive the energy of this moment. So we call out to the grandmothers and the grandfathers of the north, the south, the east, and the west. Please be with us now. Call out to Mother, Father, God, the denizens of light, the deep ones, the rooted ones. Please be here with us now. Bring through a clear message and the energies that are most supportive for each person watching this. Thank you. So as we have done in the past, this is a reading that you can use a bit of your intuition. So as I'm setting our cards out here, you might begin to sort of notice if one of them is calling to you. This might be just a lingering of your attention, or you might have some sort of insight, or maybe you just are moving off of luck in the moment. You're also obviously welcome to watch each one, but if one of them is speaking to you clearly, that'll be the most precise reading for you, and you can skip to that particular reading. So we're looking at the month of September. There's so much that's happening in the world right now. We'll start with our first selection here underneath the cube. So for those of you that chose the first card underneath the cube, this will be your reading for the month of September. So I'm just going to tune in with those of you that are most likely to choose this card. All right, let's take a look here. So our first card will be the situation card, second card will be the obstacle, and third card will be the outcome. And let's just jump right on in. So our first card that's showing up for the month of September is a little bit tricky. We've got our Nine of Swords here. Now this can mean that there can be a feeling of hopelessness, a feeling of stagnation, something that has likely shown up in your life at different times might begin to rear its ugly head again. Now this could be like a chronic disease, it could be something of more of a psychological realm, like a depression or an anxiety. I often think of the Nine of Swords as having a little bit of a karmic or even ancestral tint to it. It's like a pattern, a sanskara, like a pattern through time that shows up at different points in our life. Now, there's something positive about it being the 9. In other words, we're getting close to the end of the minor arcana or the minor cards in the sword deck. So it's like it could be reaching a peak, it could be reaching a point where it's like this has shown up at different times and I haven't been ready to face it. It's given me trouble at different moments in my life, And now it's finally gotten to the place where I'm ready to turn towards it. I'm ready to bring some transformational energy to it. Now, this can sometimes show up in ways that it's like you're not getting good sleep. There's nightmares. There's challenges with feeling settled in some sort of way. It can have sort of like an existential angst quality to it. Like I said, the plus side of this is it's like something is coming to the surface and is ready to be dealt with, ready to be ready to be looked at in a new way. Let's look at the obstacle card. This will give us a bit more information about this particular situation. So it's kind of like something is floating up above. Maybe you've been waiting on finding out if a relationship is going to work out, or waiting to see if a job is going to come through for you. You're sort of waiting for the other foot to drop. We've got the 8 of Wands here, which is kind of like something is waiting to happen, waiting to change. It could happen all of a sudden out the blue. There's a quality of like holding one's breath, waiting for this possibility or this opportunity to happen. Now, the tricky thing with that is there's kind of a stagnancy. It's like, because there's a waiting or a hoping, like, oh, I really hope that this person finally shows up. I've been waiting for my soulmate for all this time. Or, oh, I really want to make sure that this perfect job finally comes into my life. Or I've been waiting for the person that I'm with to finally let go and, finally see me for who I am. That holding of breath is keeping things from moving forward. So something hasn't landed yet. It hasn't grounded into life just yet. And that like withholding of yourself is keeping things from moving forward. Now, it's possible that something is coming, something is going to land that's going to help you go, oh, I can finally take that out breath, I can move forward. But I get the sense that the holding, the waiting is part of all the same pattern. Like the thing that actually wants to happen here is for you to triumphantly say, you know what, I'm done waiting, I'm going to make a move, even if what it is that I've been waiting for hasn't shown up yet. I'm going to step forward. But let's see what the outcome card shows here. That might give us a bit more information. Yeah, so we've got our King of Wands. There's grand insight coming your way. You're going to be able to see beyond this pattern and beyond also the waiting into what actually wants to emerge in your life. You're going to be taking more the reins, the leadership, the sovereignty in your life this month. It's not necessarily going to be very comfortable. There is this quality, at least at the beginning, of feeling like, it's the same stuff. It's not moving. It's not changing. Either something is going to show up that begins to make the next moves clear to you, like you're going to get some information, you're going to get a call, the levee is going to break and there's going to be a big opening, or you're going to say, you know what, I can't wait any longer, I'm planting my staff, I'm going to use my creative energy to move things forward. So get ready for a bit of like a month that feels slow at first and then has a lovely potent breakthrough for you. I see this as a time of you really stepping into a different quality of leadership in your life that is going to ultimately feel much more fulfilling. Let's take a look at the advice card that's hanging out here up above. Advice is really to be relying on family and friends, community that really sees you, putting your attention on what gives you a lot of joy, what gives you a lot of freedom, recognizing that life actually has your back, particularly in these like sort of sticky, uncomfortable places. It can feel like we're really alone. It can feel like we're really sort of like life is against us. And the reminder, maybe the affirmation that's helpful for you is to remind yourself that even though things are a little bit challenging, life actually has your back. The divine actually has your back. Your guides actually are there for you. And see if you can feel that support. See if you can allow yourself to take your attention at times away from what's not moving and into what's really good, what's really alive. Because you are moving into this place of much greater leadership, much greater insight, much greater creative fire. All right. So for those of you that chose the first card, this is going to be your reading for the month ahead. Thanks so much for tuning in with me, and we'll transition on to the next one. Okay, friends, so this next reading will be for those of you that chose the second option underneath this triangular card here. So I'm just going to tune in with those of you that chose the second card for the month of September. All right. First card will be your situation card. Second card will be the obstacle, and third card is the outcome. And then up above we've got our advice card as well. So first card here, month of September. I kind of like the Seven of Wands in general. It tends to indicate a powerful growth period in your life. Something is changing, something is showing. You're kind of getting a bit too big for the shoes that you've been wearing. And as a result, you're stepping into new possibilities. This could be like growing into a place in your career. It could be a new level of self-knowing and self-awareness, like a consciousness growth or step up. It can be just a shift in who you are in general. It's like you're landing more deeply in yourself, and it's creating more momentum in your life. Now, there's a bit of a tension that comes with this because you're growing into something new, which inherently means that there's a little bit of pushing away of what you used to be. This can create tension both in yourself in the terms of like, I want to really step into this new thing, but I'm having trouble letting go of the old pieces. It can also be a little bit of, it can create some crunchiness for the people around you. There are people that are like, you are supposed to be this way, and I want you to do things the way that I know that you usually do, and you're stepping into something different. You've changed the pattern. You've sort of upgraded into something else, and it can take a little bit of adjustment time for people. You can see here that there is one individual, the sort of mythos is that he's been surprised by this other group of wands, whether those are internal influencers or external influences, but they've surprised him. And in the Rider-Waite deck, he's got the wrong shoes on. He's got like mismatching shoes, and it's like he's been surprised by something. And this is like you're growing into something new, and there's a little bit of a threshold guardian. You're attempting to become something different, and life is saying, are you really ready? Are you really ready to step into this new piece? So this is a card of reminding you to stay in your conviction, to trust the knowing that's inside of you, even if there's a bit of friction or a bit of like resistance or pushback that's coming from your environment. Let's take a look at the obstacle card for this month ahead. This makes a lot of sense. We've got our 7 double sevens here, and this 7 thing has a threshold quality to it, like this growth period, this movement forward. Am I going to listen to the resistance and the pushback, or am I going to stay with my conviction? The 7 of Pentacles shows up when it's like, is this actually going to work out? There can be this like uncertainty. I've put so much time, I've put so much effort into this, and it just doesn't feel like it's going to bear the fruit that I want it to. And the 7 of Pentacles is sort of this place where it's like, is it time for me to walk away, or am I willing to sort of roll up my sleeves and stick with it for longer and see if it actually comes to fruition? Now, this is an interesting obstacle because your growth might be connected with walking away. Your growth could also be connected with saying, no, I'm going to stick with this and I'm going to move forward. So this is going to require you to really tune in. Is life asking me to continue forward? Is my growth process staying committed, or is my growth process being willing to walk away? This is for you to be figuring out. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you what to do. You are your own unique person. You're going through your own particular process. But this threshold is important. It's important for you to really listen to what is calling me now. Not just what makes me excited, but what is my growth edge? Is my growth edge staying with what's challenging, or is my growth edge leaving when it's time to leave? Okay, let's take a look at your outcome card for the month of September. Yeah, this is great. This is such a powerful archetypal thread that's happening for you in September. This threshold moment around growth, around listening to what's true for you, around maybe not getting dissuaded by the friction or the pushback, staying with your conviction. And that's precisely what the Strength card is. It's staying in integrity with yourself, being patient with the process, not being pulled out of alignment by the wild parts of ourself, maybe our anger, our frustration, or our sadness, or the sort of pieces that want to get distracted, but staying in integrity and walking that integrity forward. This is a great sign that there's some sort of like character development that's happening this month. You're going to feel so aligned with your conviction as this month goes forward. It's going to feel like you can face any problem or any challenge, and you can expect there to be grace that shows up. As you're more aligned, you're going to go, oh wow, there's that guardian angel. There's that perfect moment where the finances showed up, or the support from somebody showed up, or the door opened. This is an exciting month for you. There's no doubt about it. Let's take a look at your advice card for this month. Yeah, the Magician is showing up here, really encouraging you to be doing your own manifestation work, recognizing that you're coming into greater and greater alignment, which means that you are in your highest co-creative capacity. Both the my will, thy will sort of threshold, where you're listening to what the universe, what the divine is moving through you, and you're also part of the shaping, growing process of that. This is saying, do some dreaming, do some manifesting, do some prayer. You have the capacity to make some really bold, beautiful changes in your life right now. Okay, those of you that chose the second card, this is your reading for the month of September. I'm looking up at my camera right now, and there's a bit of a battery lag, so I'm gonna pause this for a second and then click back in for the third reading. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. I just switched my battery out. I swear I have been having the most hilarious dances with technology recently, which is something that's happened throughout my life, in particular when there's been a bit of a shift in some foundational elements. There's some sort of electromagnetic frequency thing that happens. So anyways, we're going to move on now to our third card. So for those of you that chose the third card underneath the little double helix here, this will be your reading for September. I'm just going to tune in with those of you that are most likely to choose this one. Ooh, let's get the mouse out of the frame there. All right, so all right. First card is going to be the situation card. Second card will be obstacle. And third card will be our outcome card. Let's jump right into our situation card for the month of September. This is a great card for September, particularly for those of us, I mean, it's probably fine for everybody, but those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we're starting to edge our way towards autumn, the second half of the year. And the Knight of Pentacles has that quality to it to some degree. It's like late summer, putting in the work, staying at like a decent rhythm. It's not so much of that springtime, which would be more of like the Knight of Wands that has a lot of forward moving super energy. This is more like chop wood, carry water, take care of things, make sure you're getting good nutrition, you're getting good exercise, you've got like a good rhythm throughout the day. This is a forward thinking card. It can feel really grounded, at peace with oneself, more oriented towards nourishment and belonging than the quality of like innovation and becoming and changing things. This is more like moving at a steady pace, feeling well taken care of and nourished. It's also looking to the future. So this can say, this might be a time where you're starting to put in the work that you know is going to pay off in a couple of years, maybe a decade, or maybe it's like a couple of months depending on your time period. But it's like, I'm taking care of the things because I know that ultimately this is going to come to fruition. It's going to treat me well. There's also just a quality of like deeper nourishment. Nourishment is the word that just keeps coming forward. So this is a good month to be just really taking good care of yourself, not going on massive trips, not trying to make gigantic changes, but just tending to the things around you in a rhythmic, balanced manner, tending to yourself, tending to relationships, but deepening rather than trying to stretch out into new endeavors. Let's take a look at our obstacle card for the month of September. Ooh, this is such a good obstacle card for the Knight of Pentacles because on the one hand, it's got this quality of deep restedness, belonging, sort of groundedness. Those are like the positive attributes. The attributes that can come with it are like feeling trapped, feeling like things aren't moving, maybe not feeling like you're where you're supposed to be, sort of a subtle undercurrent of anxiety or worry or stuckness, stickiness. So there's something about where you're at right now that's good, that's nourishing, that's right. It could also feel a bit stifling. You could also feel a little bit disinterested, bored, stuck even. There can even be a quality of like some desperation. So part of the way that whatever this piece is gets shaken up is willingness to feel some of those undercurrent pieces. Even if things on the outside are like, oh, it all looks really great, like everything appears to be fine, and for the most part it is, it's like giving credence and giving space to the parts of yourself that feel a bit smothered, that feel a little bit maybe unenthusiastic or uninspired. Give voice to those. So not just pretending that all is well, being willing to actually feel what are the pieces here, because those pieces will infuse the sort of stable pattern that you already have with more nourishment, with more energy, with more excitement. All right, let's take a look at your outcome card for this month. Again, sort of a perfect archetypal movement or pattern here of like something's really good, something's really balanced, but there's like lacking of eros or lacking of energy or creative energy. Be willing to give it some attention because it will bloom something new. This is not going to be the pattern forever of just chop wood, carry water. There's new innovation. There's new energy that's coming. And that energy might shift the whole pattern, or it just might enliven what you already have. It might sort of fill it up with fire and light and intrigue and interest. So, but that only happens if we're willing to turn towards what is a bit uncomfortable or what is a bit scary. Turning towards that is what opens up the possibility for creative, yummy energy to come in. All right, let's take a look at our advice card for this month. Yeah, the willingness to feel the emotional side, the willingness to honor the places that feel a bit stuck or hopeless and feel them. Feeling them is what infuses them with new life, brings through new energy, brings in the hope again. Sometimes we get into just a rhythm, a mundane rhythm, because we don't really want to feel the uncertainty or the hopelessness. That will be revivified by turning towards what's here. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in with me. And everybody else, thanks so much for tuning in with me. Always an honor to get to tune in with you and do this work. And I look forward to connecting again soon. Take good care.